Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and for today's video we are going to be talking about my top 5 favorite graphic novels, whether those be standalone graphic novels or series. A lot of you guys really seem to like my graphic novel videos and I haven't done one in a really long time, so I wanted to talk about my top 5 favorite graphic novels of all time, because while I have done 2 recommendation videos so far for graphic novels as well as manga, those are more like sweet and wholesome graphic novels, and while I do love pretty much everything that I have recommended, there are some that I really love that are not sweet nor are they wholesome and definitely a little bit darker and more explicit, if you will. I wanted to still talk about them, but I knew I couldn't do that style of recommendation video because it just wouldn't be applicable. I would be lying with those descriptors if I put them in that video. Some of them have been in those videos, but others of them have not. So let's just get started. I'm super excited about this. I've been wanting to film this video for a while. Let's get into it. I think we'll start with the graphic novel that got me into graphic novels. I'm super excited to talk about this one. It is a very well-loved graphic novel series and definitely not like flying under the radar by any means, but I do love it and I do need to talk about it, and that is the Saga graphic novel series by Brian K. Vaughn and Fiona Staples. I love this and I think volume 10 is coming out this year, which is so exciting because we've had to wait so long in between volumes 9 and 10. Hopefully this year or next year. I'm so excited. But anyway, Saga. This has been described, and I would agree, that it is essentially like a space opera graphic novel. It's Romeo and Juliet set in space on warring planets. There's this huge space war. This is a very explicit graphic novel series, both in the language that is used and the scenes that are depicted, especially because it's a graphic novel, so there are images, so you're really seeing it. This is, I feel like, as close as it can get to a movie format without being a movie and still being a book. So it's not like you're reading it on a page and like you can kind of block it out or anything. You're seeing everything. So that means like steamy scenes, deaths that are depicted, any torture that happens. It's been a long time since I've read this, so I can't say if there is torture in here, but I think that there might be. There is drug use involved in this and like a little bit of addiction. So there are a lot of dark themes that are mentioned throughout this, and as of right now there are 9 graphic novels out, but there will be more. I'm obsessed with this. I've given every single volume either 4 or 5 stars. I think that they are absolutely amazing. I'm blown away every single time that I read one, and I do really want to read it because reread it because it's been such a long time since I originally read it. But yeah, I just wanted to put all those content warnings out there so that you're aware, because it's a lot to read, and it was the first graphic novel that I ever read. Did not know any of that was going to be in there. I think I had just graduated high school maybe, or I was like in between my junior and senior year. I've like hadn't been exposed to much, and I like read it and I was like, okay, I didn't know we put this in graphic novels. Okay, I guess this is what all graphic novels are like, which is not true at all. There are definitely some that steer in the opposite direction and are more sweet and wholesome. I'll have those videos linked in the description below in case you haven't seen them, you don't know what I'm talking about, and you want to check them out for more recommendations. But yes, I have to talk about this. It's the first graphic novel I ever read. It's the one that got me into reading, and I'm so thankful for it because it's so freaking good. Then the other fantasy graphic novel that I have on this list is actually one that I think it was like my last read or my second to last read of 2020. And it doesn't have the best reviews on Goodreads, but I personally loved it, and that is Sea of Stars by Jason Aaron and Dennis Hallam, as well as Stephen Green and Rico Renzi. This is volume 1. I have no idea when volume 2 is coming out, but I am obsessed with this cover. I'm trying to like have it this way so that you can't really see the glare. But I am obsessed with this cover, and basically this one is Finding Nemo set in space, and it's amazing. It kind of gave me Avatar vibes, like the art style at one point, even though this is nothing like Avatar. Basically, it is about this little boy and his dad. His dad is like a trucker in space, basically. His wife and the main character's mom has passed away, and so it's just this dad and his little boy. And one day something like there's an accident basically in space, and they end up getting separated, and they're trying to find their way back to each other. And along the way, this little boy ends up meeting some new creatures, and something happens where he like develops this power, and then people are after him. His dad's trying to get to him. There are so many different plot lines happening already in volume 1, and I am so excited to continue on. I also think that the art style is just absolutely beautiful. It's so vibrant and colorful, and I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, I haven't seen anyone talk about this. I just saw it in Barnes & Noble one day and it looked amazing, and then I looked at the reviews and I was like, I shouldn't get it. But then I went back a couple days later and I got it anyway, and I'm so glad that I did. I think I may have given it 4 stars. I think I was like persuaded by the rating on Goodreads that was there, and like I lowered it a little bit, but it's honestly a 5 out of 5 stars. It's so good. It's so good. Now moving into the more like contemporary set ones. The first one we have is kind of like a little badass, which is cool, and that is Heavy Vinyl Volume 1, Riot on the Radio. This is by 4 different authors, and I always have the links for these books in the description below. They are affiliate links, just like in case you didn't see that. It is like highlighted in the description, but in case you didn't know, they are affiliate links, so you are supporting my channel by using those links, which I highly appreciate. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I just wanted to mention that. But basically, this is about a group of girls that work in this record store, but secretly they're like this vigilante girl gang fighting crime. They have like an alternate not an alternate reality because it's not sci-fi, but they're like vigilante fighters, and it's super cool, and it's all female. There's a decent amount of representation. There's a sapphic romance in here, which I really enjoyed. I can't speak to the representation, but I wanted to mention that it is there. I would recommend going to other reviewers who can speak on it more accurately to get a better review, but I just wanted to mention that. But there is a sapphic romance in here that's super cute in my opinion, and I really loved it. It was so fun. Again, the art style is super pretty and vibrant, and I just love it. There is a sequel. I didn't love that one as much, and I almost kind of wish I didn't read it because I love that this one is just like 5 stars, perfection. I wish it could live in my head that way without having the second book tainted, but it wasn't bad, and I still enjoyed my time reading it because it is such like pretty artwork and like nice to look at. So then we're getting into books that I feel like I've talked about a ton on my channel, and if you've been following me for like 1.5 years or so, you will have definitely seen me mention these. So the first one is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. I love this graphic novel so freaking much. This is about Deja and Josie, who have worked at this pumpkin patch pretty much all through high school, and they've always kind of had a crush on each other, but the timing has never really lined up. And so this is their last night. It's Halloween. It's their last night working at this pumpkin patch, and they're both really sad about it because after this year, they're not going to be working there anymore. They're going to be going into college the next year. They're high school seniors when we're following them. And so on this night, Josie is trying to impress this girl that he's like been infatuated with for a little bit. Him and Deja are best friends, and so Deja's trying to help him, and throughout the course of the night, they get into a bunch of different like shenanigans and stuff, and it's just so cute. I love this art style. It is so sweet. This is definitely in my sweet and wholesome graphic novel recommendations because those are the perfect words to describe it. It's so sweet. It's so wholesome. It just brought a smile to my face. It's so happy. It gives you all of the autumn vibes. It's amazing, and I can't wait to reread it this year on Halloween. It's going to be a great time. And the last one, the one that has a dedicated review for it, one of my favorite graphic novels of all time, the one that has made me cry. It gives me chills just thinking about it. The one that is the closest to my heart. I keep babbling, but I just have so many good things to say about this graphic novel. So one more thing and then I'll show you what it is. This one is like nerve-wracking for me to talk about because it feels like I am giving all of you my own personal story, and that's always super vulnerable and like scary, especially like on the internet. It's The Dark Matter of Monastar by Mary Lee Gulledge. This one is sweet and wholesome kinda, but it deals with dark themes, and not necessarily dark themes, but it deals with a girl who is in a season of really bad depression. It's really bad, it's really getting to her, and it's like so intense that she's having like physical reactions to it. So we're following a girl, Monastar, and it's called The Dark Matter of Monastar because Mona has depression, has been dealing with it for a little bit now, but she doesn't like to call it depression. She doesn't like to refer to it as that. She likes to refer to it as her matter. It's just like an easier term for her to swallow and accept, which I feel like if you've ever dealt with anything regarding mental health, people understand that like sometimes the terminology that can be used is just like really intense and you don't really want to accept it. I know that I've experienced things like that, and as like so friends of mine and stuff, and so you just kind of have to be accepting of the terminology that they want to use. So anyway, that's like a whole other spiel that I don't know why I just got on. Either way, this is about a girl who is really struggling with her depression, and that's like pretty much it. It just kind of chronicles her dealing with it and going to therapy. That was another thing that I absolutely loved about this book, was it shows a really good, in my opinion, like healthy relationship with a therapist and what that kind of looks like. But it's also like really realistic in that Mona is trying to get better, and at one point she regresses, and that is just a part of mental health in general. It's a part of life in general, but especially depression, and that can be really, really discouraging. And like, how do you deal with that? Finding new coping mechanisms when the ones that you originally had aren't working anymore, dealing with life changes, all of that stuff, and it like accepting the fact that life is not going to be perfect. You are not going to not feel depressed 100% of the rest of your days so long as you have depression, which is pretty much forever once you've been diagnosed with it. Unfortunately, it sucks, but it happens. And like, you can go through really long seasons of not dealing with it, and those are amazing, but sometimes like it'll sneak up on you if you're not like really paying attention to it. So yeah, I loved this book. It made me sob. I have a whole vlog where I'm crying. I'll have that linked up if you want to watch it. It's kind of sad, in my opinion. It's always sad to watch someone cry. So those are my top 5 favorite graphic novels of all time. Let me know if you guys have read any of these. I know that when I posted that reading vlog of me reading The Dark Matter of Monastar, so many people in the comments were like, adding this to cart immediately, thank you. But let me know if you've read any of the others. I'm super curious to know. And let me know in the comments below what your favorite graphic novels are. I also wanted to ask you guys if you want a manga version of this. So I have 2 ideas. I can just talk about my all-time favorite manga that I have ever read, like series as well as standalones, or I can do a tier ranking video of all of the manga that I have ever read if you want a manga version of this. So let me know. I would be happy to do either. I've been like toying with the idea. But that's it. That's all I have for today's video. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorites are. Let me know if you want the manga version or not. I hope that you're doing well reading, mentally, and otherwise. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.